Hi everyone, my name is Stenila S and I'm a tutor with Chegg Tutors. I tutor a wide range of subjects including physics, math, and English writing. One of my favorite forms of English writing is poetry. I love reading and writing poetry, and so one of the topics that we're going to talk about today is understatement. This is a technique that a lot of authors and poets employ in their writing, and understatement is basically a figure of speech. It is used to make something seem less important than it really is. So, a lot of you may be familiar with the concept of underestimation. We often say that we underestimated something when we don't really take into consideration what it really is. So an example would be, oh, I underestimated how hard this test would be because I didn't really think about how significant the test would be. When you underestimate someone's talent, you think that they weren't as talented as they actually turned out to be. And so you can think of understatement as kind of the same concept, but not really. You'll see in a minute why. An understatement is basically more deliberate and is actually used to make something seem actually less important than it really is. So let's look at some examples. Someone stays awake till 6 a.m. to study for a test. The next day, the professor asks them if they slept well. The student replies, I sure did. I got a full 20 minutes of sleep. Yay! We all know that's not enough sleep. We all know that student is probably tired and they did not sleep well. But they try to shake it off and say, oh, I got a full 20 minutes of sleep, as if that's a good thing. So that's an example of how you do an understatement. You make something seem less important than it really is. The student in this case made it seem like it wasn't that big of a deal that they didn't get enough sleep. So that's a great example of an understatement. Another would be, after a tornado wreaks havoc in a city, one of the residents says, yeah, it was just a little windier than usual. We all know how bad a tornado can be if it wreaked havoc in a city and tore down houses and trees and stuff. So if they are saying it was just a little windier than usual, we know that's not what a tornado is. A tornado is a huge, giant spiral of wind. Again, it's trying to make something seem less important than it really is. It's trying to make it seem like the tornado was not that big of a deal, when it actually was. Another example of this can be seen in the book Catcher in the Rye, which is a great book written by J.D. Salinger. It says, I have to have this operation. It isn't very serious. I have this tiny little tumor on the brain. Now, we all know that a tumor in the brain is not a laughing matter. It can be fatal, it can do so much damage to you, and they're saying, oh, it's not very serious. So that is a huge understatement. They're trying to make a tumor seem less important than it is, when actually it could have such a fatal, crucial effect on their life. So this is basically what an understatement is. It adds so much flavor and so much character to a book or a poem, and it's usually a great way to sound witty as well as add some comedic effect. So that's basically what an understatement is. If you have any other questions about this or anything else, please feel free to contact me at Chegg. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching and have a nice day.